Hello, welcome to the Prodigal Sons channel. I'm John. I'm going to host you today as we discuss about a very important person in history. And actually, he died because of his faith. We are going to look at Alberto Rivera, who was a former Jesuit cardinal priest. After his conversion to Protestant Christianity, spoke of what he learned in secret briefings in the Vatican when he was a Jesuit priest under oath and induction. After several unsuccessful attempts on his life, he died suddenly from food poisoning. I think finally they succeeded in killing him. His testimony should not be silenced. Dr. Rivera speaks to us still, even today. He also spoke of suppressed history about the Jesuits and Vatican hand in the creation of Islam and Islam's founder, the Prophet Muhammad. Let us examine his life history. Here is what we know about Alberto's death. He died a few weeks after May of 1997 in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. He was 61 years old, and the cause of death was listed on the death certificate as an 18-month battle with colon cancer. Very weird. Dr. Rivera made so many claims for 15 years, and those claims are being verified today by current events. Let's first start by an article here. Dr. Rivera's 15-year-old claims verified by current events. After we cover this article, we are going to cover how he died. And actually this article is by Chic Publications, who were actually publishing his works and what he used to say. It's just, this guy, he died because of his faith. He died because of his belief in Jesus Christ. Okay, let's continue. This article was actually, the issue date was May or June 2000. Okay, let's start by this. In 1985, ex-Jesuit Alberto Rivera predicted that the Vatican would eventually apologize for its part in the German Holocaust, the Inquisition, and the slaughter of Jews and Muslims during the Crusades. His prediction was based on secret briefings that he attended while a Jesuit in training. You can see that in Godfathers by Jack T. Chick. Last month, that is 2000, June or around there, April 2000. Last month, this prediction came true as Pope John Paul II publicly asked forgiveness for the sins of Roman Catholics through the ages. The Pope and several other Vatican leaders conducted a day of pardon mass. How do you pardon somebody who you have killed? He's the one who is supposed to pardon him. This thing about Catholics, whereby the Catholic, they kill people and then they pardon them. It's just weird and stupid. Okay, listen to this. The Pope and several other Vatican leaders conducted a day of pardon mass at St. Peter's Basilica. To the Jews, he said, "We are deeply saddened by the behavior of those who, in the course of history, have caused these children of yours to suffer, and asking your forgiveness, we wish to commit ourselves to genuine brotherhood." Kind of brotherhood. In reference to the Inquisition, Cardinal Ratzinger confessed, "Even men of the Church, in the name of faith and morals, have sometimes used methods not in keeping with the gospel. The Pope responded, "Have mercy on your sinful children." Some Jewish leaders were unimpressed. Israel's chief rabbi, Meir Lau, said he was deeply frustrated by the Pope's failure to mention the Holocaust by name. Leaders from several Jewish organizations have been pressing the Vatican to open its World War II archives to investigators. They claim that at best, Vatican leaders and Pope Pius VII remained silent during Hitler's genocide against the Jews and others. Of course, few are willing to present the whole truth that Roman Catholic leaders, including the Pope, were instrumental in Hitler's rise to power, and that Hitler was simply carrying out persecution against the Jews, which the Vatican had fostered for centuries. Another reason for opening the archives is to determine what happened to hundreds of millions of dollars worth of gold stolen by the Nazis from Jews and other conquered nations. Much of it has been traced to Swiss banks who have made a token refund to Holocaust survivors. But Dr. Rivera was told by the head of the Jesuit order, Cardinal Augustin Bear. You see, he was told by the head of the Jesuit order at that time, his name was Cardinal Augustin Bear, that a special train flying Vatican flags was allowed through the Allied military lines. The Americans were told it was a mercy train carrying medical supplies. In reality, it carried Nazi gold, which was deposited in Vatican accounts in Swiss banks. In July 1997, a documentary film crew discovered a US government document stating that the pro-Nazi Croatian Ustachis sent gold coins worth to 50 million Swiss francs to the Vatican, which was later used to finance the rat line of fleeing Nazi leaders to sanctuary in Spain and Argentina. The Vatican denies this, but still refuses to open its archives. In January of this year, that is 2000, Ukrainian and Jewish concentration camp survivors filed a class action lawsuit in San Francisco, California against the Vatican Bank. The complaint calls for the Vatican Bank, the Franciscan Order, and other European banks to give an accounting of the Nazi Ustashi gold and for restitution for the victims and their families. The Roman Catholic institution has steadfastly denied that Dr. Rivera ever was a priest, much less privy to secret Vatican briefings. You see, now they denied he was a priest. Dr. Rivera was actually a Jesuit priest, a very highly placed Jesuit priest. He was attending their secret Vatican meetings with the Jesuits. However, let's continue. However, it seems unlikely that it was just a lucky guess when he made these statements 15 years ago. He made that time 15 years ago, that is 1985. Let's examine how Dr. Rivera, a soldier of Christ, died. Okay, let us examine this other article. The manifestation of reality. We are apt to shut our eyes against a painful truth. For my part, I'm willing to know the whole truth, to know the worst, and to provide for it. That it was said by Patrick Henry. Okay, Alberto Rivera, natural death, Saturday, February 7th, 2009. Death by natural causes. That's exactly what they want you to think. Here is what we know about Alberto's death. He died a few weeks after May of 1997 in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. He was 61 and cause of death was listed on the death certificate as an 18-month battle with colon cancer. We also know that before his death that he called Jack Chick and told him that the Jesuits finally got away. Read Double Cross and you'll hear about all sorts of failed assassination plots against Alberto. His room was blown up in Ireland. Ground glass was stuck in his food at a prayer meeting. He became ill after eating poisoned food, etc. He was even shot at in Chick's presence in a drive-by situation. Alberto also claimed the Jesuits had a special poison that gave their victims a terminal cancer but left no traces of foul play. Years later, he succumbed to colon cancer. His wife, Nari Rivera, believes she knew when the poison was delivered 4 years earlier. She claims it was supposed to kill him right away and that it was a miracle that he survived another 4 years. But minor differences in her opinion and her husband's as to the timing of the poison do not seem to matter much. What does matter is her claim about a series of phone calls she received after his death. She told Chick that Catholic priests called her after her husband died and acted very sympathetic. They said they wanted to know where he was buried so they could conduct a special service given to the priests. She became angry and said they had denied he was a priest before his lifetime, during his lifetime, and now that he was dead, they wanted to give him a priest's funeral. What's ironic, don't you think? She slammed the phone down in disgust. She figured what they really wanted to do was desecrate the grave. Chick believes they wanted to do worse, far worse. He told friends that he thought the Catholic priests wanted to exhume Alberto's body and put it on trial. It was a medieval practice they used to perform on heretics that eluded their capture while alive. Jesuits would find the body, dig it up, prop it up, and hold a mock trial, excommunicating the corpse and condemning it to hell. Torture and mutilation of the body is also rumored to have occurred, as if it could feel it. But such practices were probably more effective as a deterrent. The living will hear about these after death humiliations and become less likely to contradict the church. Interesting, don't you think? And disgusting. Anyway, let's continue. The Inland Valley Daily Bulletin. Michael Siches, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. Michael Siches, reporting on Sunday, December 21st, 1997, quoted Nori Rivera, Alberto's wife, as saying, "They, as the Jesuits, murdered him. He was poisoned 4 years ago and was supposed to die right away, but it was a miracle he lived for 4 years. The Lord wanted him to go around the world." Alberto told Jack that the guy who poisoned him was an old friend who he thought had also left the church. He visited the US, insisted on making dinner for Alberto, but then Alberto became deathly ill and had to be rushed to the hospital to have his stomach pumped. When he got back, his old friend was gone without any note, never to be heard from again. Alberto had previously claimed that Jesuits had poison that made people die of cancer and thus look like natural causes. It was neither an unlucky coincidence or grim prophecy that his own death seemed to follow the same MO. We can see some Pope Benedict the 16th and Jesuit congregations, their pictures there. Okay, then we hear what the wife has to say again. Here now is Rivera's interview with Greg Shizemanski. Okay, the late Jesuit Father Alberto Rivera's wife, Mary, refuses Vatican bribes after her husband was killed for trying to tell the truth about Vatican and Jesuit order evil doings. Vatican offered Mrs. Rivera $1 million if she signed a paper saying her husband was delusional and insane. Refusing, her life was then threatened many times, but she continues in spite of threats, trying to inform the world of the satanic nature of the Vatican. The following is a reply I received in response to my posting information on Alberto's prison. Then you can see we've been given a URL there. Research cancer-causing retroviruses. The AIDS viruses were manufactured via retroviruses, supposedly, and Alberto claimed that the Vatican used retrovirus variations to poison people, most likely by the description I read at your site now. I read some amazing literature on them and did retrovirus units in biology classes earlier in my life, and it's rather simple theory. A virus injects its RNA into your DNA, and then your ribosomes make what the virus RNA says to, and your ribosomes can be programmed to make anything. We make insulin this way, or you can make more viruses this way. Supposedly, the CIA made AIDS a tumor-causing one retrovirus, and a third one when they merged with this research program in the 70s, and all three virus creations are called AIDS by the ignorant public. The literature I read was on our MySpace account, but well researched. But it said that the government passed it to the public in Manhattan in 1980, first then Seattle and other locations through a fake research experiment, asking for gay men to test a vaccine for hepatitis. This is definitely a worth researching one day when you have some free time. So you guys, this is the little stories. Okay, so those articles just give you an insight who Dr. Rivera was and how he died, but I'm also going to cover some of the things he said in my next video. I have attached all these two articles. I've attached their URL below so you can check, and please subscribe so that we can learn more. Thank you so much, and bye bye. Thank you.